Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. If there are any questions from the brothers and the sisters or online, then we'll try our best to take a few bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Tafadhal Khalid.
When someone comes out of ruku and they put their hands up, what should they do? Should they put it over their chest or should they let it go down?
Question says, when a person comes out of ruku, where should the hands go? Should you fold them once more as they were folded, or should you put them down to your sides? This answer, or this question, is a branch off of many other issues. And that is, where do the hands belong in the salah? When you're in the position called al-qiyam. The qiyam in which you're reciting the Quran, the Fatiha, Qul Huwallahu Ahad, Qul A'udhu bi Rabbil Falaq, Naam, Al-Hakam Al-Takathur, any surah that you're reciting in a prayer, right? Where do the hands belong? We know, to keep things short and brief, there's no doubt that the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ teaches us the right hand should be over the left. Whether it's the left hand, left wrist, left forearm. One may even say to the elbow. Al-Muhim, the right should be on the left. And those who say, I don't think there's anyone who says left over right, but those who say that the hands should not be crossed and folded, there lies no doubt that is a weak view. And we don't say that, but so often, sometimes we do. We say, no, we're saying that's a what? That's a weak view. And there's no question about that. Marjuh. The view is weak. Now, that's with regards to folding. I didn't say anything about the place. Should the hands go here, on the chest, towards the neck, the mid of the torso, the belly button, beneath the belly button, on top of the belly button? That's a different discussion. There is an option in all of these places. There's option. If you want to put them on your belly button, take it. Beneath your belly button, la bats. On your chest, la bats. Shaykh ibn Uthaymin, rahimahullah, he says about this issue when he was asked, the hadith of placing them on the chest and the hadith about placing them beneath the navel, he says they're both weak. But the hadith about the chest is less weak than that with regards to beneath the navel. So it's optional. And it's unnecessary for any person to say that you're an innovator or you're off the sunnah if your hands are on your navel. It's unnecessary to say that. Because the dalil for that is not what? Strong at all. That's first and foremost. So you have the option. But what's for sure, the dalil for sure, is that the right hand is what? Over top of the left. No question about that. And it said that praying with your hands by your side, cold and life. It's weak. It's not supported by the authentic text. Khairan, inshallah. So therefore, when you come out of the ruku', just like before, you have the option of placing them back on your chest or your belly or top of your belly, or placing them down to the sides, because it's a bit different now. The specific dalil for placing them over the left when you're standing reciting, the dalil for doing it coming out of the ruku' isn't necessarily that specific. Isn't what? Necessarily that specific. So it's an option. Me personally, when I come out of ruku', I place my hands back down to my side. That's how I feel comfortable. That's what I feel is a way to do it. And if you do other than that, there's nothing wrong with that. What's important is no matter what view you take, there's someone from the ulama who preceded you therein. And that's a long discussion. And obviously, there's some people who say there's bid'ah to put it on your chest after the ruku', and so on and so forth. Those things should not be said. And Allah knows best. That's in brief.
Abdul Hakim GD from Fort Worth. Assalamu alaikum. What is the meaning of Ba'ithta bil Hanifati Samha, and what is the source of this hadith?
Question says, quoting from Fort Worth, Texas, a hadith that says, in the proper pronunciation is bu'ithtu bil Hanafiyati Samha. I've been sent with the tolerant Hanafism. That's the translation. I've been sent with tolerant Hanafism. What does this mean? What's the source of this hadith? There are different versions of this hadith that can be found in different books. Some of those versions can be found in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad and others. And ulama of Islam, some of them say hadith Hasan. So the hadith is fair. Mashi hal. Alright? What's important is the hadith means is that the Prophet's religion has two main characteristics. The first is the way of Hanif, the way of Ibrahim, pure and devout. No 2 gods, 3 gods. One day a god and the next day a spirit, an angel, a sun god. Nah, it's none of that. Spirit, a sheikh, a wali, abadan. Maqam fulan, hadrat fulan, a'udhu billah. It's only worshiping Allah and Allah only, Azza wa Jal. And not only is it based off of Tawheed, but it is tolerant, meaning that the religion is easy, the religion is simple. There are no hardships in the deen that are absolutely permanent. A hardship may be temporary, it may be relative, but there's never an absolute hardship. There's never a permanent hardship. There's either a temporary hardship, a relative hardship, a subjective hardship, or a hardship because of one's interpretation of Islam and misinterpretation of the deen. Someone who doesn't understand the Quran properly and doesn't understand the Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah properly. Even when a person is on the Sunnah, the deen, and they're strict and religious, it doesn't mean that it has to be what? A hardship. Hajj, is Hajj making a hardship? No question. It costs money, you get sick, you get pushed, you get kicked, you get trampled, right? People do all types of things during Hajj. It's far, all types of sacrifices. But how many times is Hajj mandatory? Once in a person's lifetime. He made it to be 60, 70, 80, 100. And it was only mandatory to do what?
One time.
So in reality, that's not a what?
Hardship.
It's not a hardship. Everyone understand this? Secondly is, we have the concept of Hajj is only mandatory upon those who have the money. I have bills. I have children in school. I have a wife to take care of. I have debts. I have this and that. I don't have the money for Hajj. Hajj is not what?
Mandatory.
It's not mandatory upon you. Someone who has weak physical health, weak physical stature, etc. Hajj is not what? Mandatory for them to physically, the whack of that. So there's never a hardship in Islam that's a real true hardship. So that's what this hadith means. And that even the nature of the Hajj and when you have to make it, etc. is based off of ease and simplicity. What do you do when you have to make Hajj? Go lift a boulder, make tawaf 1,000 times, stay for 2 months. Simple, easy, basic. You make your Hajj, you make your Umrah, you make your tawaf, you make your sa'i, you sawm, you slaughter, you do these. Simple, easy, basic. Does a woman have to shave her head when she makes Hajj? No. So he says, وَإِذْتُ بِالْحَنَفِيَّةِ السَّمْحَةِ. I, meaning Allah sent me, I have been sent with the pure, tolerant Hanafism. That's what this hadith means. And it's a tremendous hadith that we should always be mindful of. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best.
Initials NH, Toronto, Canada. Assalamu alaikum. If I've prayed my fard and feel like it wasn't done properly, can I pray again? How many times am I allowed to repeat the prayer?
Question comes from Toronto. Initials NH. If I prayed my fard but I don't think it was done properly, can I pray it again? How many times am I allowed to do it? 0 times, and do not pray your fard again. Period. You leave your salah, there is no I think, I feel. Period. The only time you make your salah again is if you know for sure that the prayer was invalid. You know for sure that it was invalid. You know for sure you didn't do it in a proper way. As far as I think, I feel, don't even think about it. And if you do, the shaitan will terrorize you. Next question.
Initials AK, Toronto, Ontario. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Sheikh. Do I need to maintain family ties with male and female cousins who don't practice whatsoever?
Question says, come from where?
Toronto, Ontario.
From Toronto, Ontario. Do I need to keep family ties or relations with cousins, male cousins who don't practice at all? Yeah, I think it's an interesting question because obviously the questioner is leading to the fact that the cousin is a mahram and they don't practice. So due to the fact that they're not mahrams already and they don't practice, what? Worthless. I don't have to keep religion with them at all because their cousins and they're what? Fasiqun. Fasiquns, right? Right? You understand this? If that. It may be worse than that. I don't know. What's important is anyone that's related to you, whether they're related to you in the light of the Sharia and the Deen, or whether they're related to you in light of the custom and the culture of the people, and you have the ability to give them advice and to help them and to enjoin the good upon them and forbid them from the evil, that is what you should do. That is what you should do. If they don't want to hear it, they don't care, they're not interested in Islam, they make fun of you, hey, no problem, turn away from them. But you don't have to be nasty to them. Keep the door open for them whenever they wish to enter that door. Allow the relationship to exist whenever they may have a question about Islam. All right? Regardless whether they're your cousins or whether they're your blood brothers or fathers. All right? Because they're still your family. They still have your blood. They still have some type of blood relationship with you. All right? And the concept of secular lifestyles, as we previously explained, is a problem. Unfortunately, it's a problem. Many of our family members don't do anything. They're Muslim just by name. They may be like Christians. They only go to church on Sunday. If that. It's unfortunate. Allah knows best.
Initials IS, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Assalamu alaikum, Mufti. Would you explain more in the hadith that says the people who enter Jannah without hisab, those don't seek ruqyah?
Question comes from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Could you please explain the hadith about those who will enter paradise without reckoning, without punishment, who don't do ruqyah? That part of the hadith, if you're talking about in Arabic, la yarquna, that's inauthentic. That's not sahih. The Prophet said la yarqun. The correct version is la yastarqun. They don't seek ruqyah. And there's a huge difference between the two. Let's break it down like this when it comes to money. Hadith that says, those who don't give sadaqah will enter paradise without any reckoning. Those who don't ask for sadaqah will enter paradise without any reckoning. See the difference? It's a huge difference between the two. Giving ruqyah to your brother is a good thing. You're helping your brother out. It's not the same as you seeking ruqyah, in which it means you lower yourself for a person. And you expect good and you hope for good in what? A person other than Allah. Even if it's not shirk. Even if it's not what? Even if it's not shirk. So there's a difference. So that part of the hadith, or that version that says, هُمَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرْقُونَ, they are those who don't make ruqyah. That's not sahih. As far as if you're talking about in the English translation and ruqyah, getting it or giving it at all, la, as we've just explained. They don't ask for it. Even though it's not haram to ask for it. It's not haram. It's a virtue. And oftentimes, be mindful of the shaitan, he play a game on you. You find brothers and sisters who may be possessed with jinn. Or they may have sin placed on them. Or they may have major waswasa. And they say, I don't want to get the ruqyah. I don't want to ask for the ruqyah because I want to be from these people who enter paradise, be lady, hisab, and so on and so forth. Look at this game. Ask Allah to allow you to Jannah first and foremost. Who said that you're going to paradise with them? Who said that? Especially if you keep this waswasa, in which you can't pray, you can't fast, you can't stay married to your wife, you keep making talaq. Who said you're going to go to Jannah, period, if the shaitan continues to dominate you and have you have shak about your deen? So it doesn't make any sense. It's like a person who's dying and the medicine is in a capsule, and the capsule is white sugar. It says, I don't want to take the capsule because, you know, it's white sugar and it's going to be bad for my health. I only take natural honey. It's a necessity. Everyone understand this? And Allah knows best.
Shifa E, Munich, Germany. Assalamu alaikum, Mufti. Jazakallah khairan for answering all my questions. May Allah grant you Jannah with rivers of tea. Is it against the sunnah to not accept gift and money? Also, we are eagerly waiting for the video on your experiences from the UK tour.
Question is Shifa E from Munich, Germany. Is it from the sunnah to reject gifts or not to take gifts? Not to take charity or things like this from people? And also, we're waiting for your video on your experiences in the UK. Barakallahu feek, may Allah bless you and all of the disciples of Hadith in Germany. Thank you very much for the dua, Ameen, and you as well. Inshallah, we're going to do the lecture very soon. We're going to publish it soon, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, with regards to what we witnessed in the United Kingdom. As far as your question, then it's a no and a yes answer. It's not from the sunnah to reject a gift. It's not from the sunnah. The Prophet, he accepted gifts. And this is one of the signs that he was a true prophet that Salman al-Farisi radiallahu anhu knew. Is that he doesn't eat charity, sadaqah, but he takes hadiyah, he takes a gift. And there's a difference between the two, right? Okay, the concept of a person getting something from his brother. And what the Prophet ﷺ says, Man ja'ahu shay'un min hadha al-mal. Anyone who gets some of this wealth, the wealth of Allah, and he's not begging, he's not sticking his neck out and asking for it, then let him take it. Let him take it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's from Allah. It's a blessing from Allah. So if there's a gift in which there are no immediate strings attached, and no one is trying to buy you out or sucker you into becoming their servant, a scholar taking a gift, and then now you can't say it's haram anymore. An imam of a masjid, he takes gifts from the board of the masjid, or a big fat paycheck. in a fancy masjid, but don't talk about cigarettes on the minbar. Don't talk about selling the flesh of swine on the minbar. Do not give a khutbah about the lottery. Do not give a khutbah about hijab. Do not give a khutbah about smoking. No. That's a different story when someone is buying you. But if it's a gift, and there's no doubtful, dubious source, especially coming from a righteous brother, a pious person, no strings attached, bismillah, not best. As far as if there are strings attached, and the person's wealth may be unlawful, the person is an evil doer, an evil monger, a sin monger, they're trying to own you, they're trying to have a favor on you, then the general rule, not necessarily specifically from the sunnah, but the general rule is not to take that gift. Not to what? Take that gift. Everyone understand this? It's to avoid taking that gift. And try your best to do it in a way in which it's not going to be offensive. But you have to protect yourself. You have to protect yourself. So it depends on the situation. And Allah knows best. Inshallah, perhaps this will be our last question.
Muhammad R. Surrey, UK. Sheikh, may Allah reward you with the best of rewards. Please clarify to us the method of praying in a plane and train. If a person is unable to stand, what should he do?
The question comes from the UK. With regards to, can you please clarify the proper way of offering salah on a plane or a train? If one cannot face the qibla, etc., what should you do? May Allah bless you, and may Allah allow us to serve you better with regards to answering questions in the classes, etc. May Allah hide our thoughts and make us better servants for the people. With regards to how to pray on a plane or a train, then this is based off of the shurut of salah, the conditions of the prayer, the arkan of the salah, the pillars or the skeleton, the bones of the prayer, the structure of the prayer, such as standing up. That's a rukn. Praying istiqbal al-qibla, facing the qibla. That's a pillar. That's a prerequisite, right? Ruku', al-i'tidal, raf'a min al-ruku', etc. These are all parts of the integral ingredients of the prayer. So when you cannot face the qibla, you cannot stand up, you cannot fold your legs, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, what is to be salvaged and what is to be sacrificed? Everyone understand this? What is to be salvaged and what is to be what? Sacrificed. If you're traveling, then you have more flexibility. Because you can make dhuhr in the time of asr if your train is going to stop when asr is still in. Or if your plane is going to land and asr is still in. But be mindful of your bags. It takes you 30 or 45 minutes sometimes just to get your luggage, right? Be mindful of Border Patrol, FBI, TSA, stopping you, bothering you, holding you up. You understand this? You may land in time for asr, but by the time everything's done, there's no time. Alright? Be mindful of a delay on the train, etc. If you're not traveling far distance, then make the salat before you get on the plane or the train. I don't see how you can get on an airplane and not be traveling. Allahu Alam. Unless you have a private layer or a private jet or a helicopter. But I don't see how you can get on a normal passenger plane and not be musafir. So on the train is a bit different. Inside of the city. Alright? So, is a person traveling or not? Clear? If you're not traveling, that's one thing. If you're traveling, make the taqdeem or the ta'khir. Make dhuhr and asr at the time of dhuhr, or make dhuhr and asr at the time of what? Asr. And you can't do this unless you have good management of time. Good management of what? Of time. Let's say a person is traveling, and there isn't enough time to do that. The prayer is going to come in and go out on the plane. Maghrib, I'm in the airport. Isha, for sure, is going to come in and go out before I land in Australia or Indonesia or Germany or etc. What do I do? Make the salah. And do not allow the salah to leave. If you can face the qibla, face the qibla. If you can stand up, stand up. If you can't stand up, there's nowhere to stand. If you can't face the qibla, then pray in your seat to the best of your ability. Make your intention to pray as if you're standing, and you move your hands like you would normally move them. When it's time to make ruku' and sujood, you bend down. And the most important thing, and the compulsory thing, is to break the plane of the shoulders. You don't necessarily have to bend all the way down like this. You don't necessarily have to do that. But to break the plane of the shoulders. And this is qiyam, and this is ruku'. So if you moved your head and a bit of your upper torso and made it low for sujood, inshallah that's fine. If you wanted to make this sujood low like that sitting, it's your own discretion. Everyone understand this? That is what you do. Once the plane lands, you do not have to make salat al-isha again. You do not have to make up the prayer again. If the rest of the things were done properly, the prayer is valid and you were excused. And that's because you have to sacrifice now. Time versus Qibla. Time versus Qiyam. Which one is more sacred than the other? I understand this? Many of the ulama, they say there's nothing more sacred than the time. Many of them say is what? There's nothing more what? Sacred than the time. Everybody with me or not?
No.
You guys with me? Time. Making it on time and not allowing the prayer to go out. As far as making it up, not necessarily obligatory. Okay? This is in brief. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. Jazakumullah khairan for tuning in, for attending. May Allah Azza wa Jalla bless you all.